Alrighty, guys, welcome back here to Town Hall Heroes, episode number 56. Hopefully everything is alright. Yeah, this is saying viewer call-ins. That is a lie.
Yo, this is an old
Jake,
UI.
This
you know
is.
how long it's been since we sat next to each other, Jake?
Oh my gosh, I don't.
It's been like a
How's it
while.
going, Sean? Oh,
Been
I'm like clipping into
like
everything.
a while.
Guys, I'm over here. Come on. Thanks.
What?
You look over here? No?
What's up?
All right, whatever.
Hi.
What do you
Yo,
want?
what's up, guys? What's going on?
I don't know what's happening with Sheth's ceiling. It actually just he has bugs crawling all over his ceiling. Oh,
Is he chromad or something?
Excuse me.
it's possible. Well, there he goes. All right, well, while I figure out, there we go. While I figure out technological,
Yo, let's talk about patch.
let's talk about patch. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Let's talk about the thing that I'm just taking it, Jake. It's mine.
Okay.
Garden Terror. Why did they make the map more boring? Why would you slow down the terror? It's already the slowest map. We consistently see games like 35. I saw DJ Wheat tweet out a game that he had 38 minutes on Garden of Terror. So let's slow down the terror. Why? Why? The map's so boring already. Why slow it down? Why?
I'm trying to figure out why it says.
Yeah, that was a really weird change. I mean, they made Overgrowth more powerful, which is a good idea because already like Garden of Terror maps just were always the longest. But I don't understand why they slowed the movement. Like that's my biggest concern about that entire map is that it takes forever to have to go back to base, get the Garden Terror,
Yeah.
go back out again.
You have to go to your base. So you're getting the seeds out in the map. Like Dragonshire, you get the Dragonite in the middle of the map, and you're immediately doing something with it. You're pushing mid fort within seconds. But Garden of Terror, you have to go all the way back to base, getting it, and then you gotta fight.
Fight. And then what happens at the fight? The Garden Terrors, they smack each other for 5 minutes until they dissipate.
Yeah, it's that's a really just weird.
It's a really powerful thing in team fights because you have the polymorph, and then late game it slaps for a lot. So you could be like chase heroes down and like keep wailing on them and stuff, but it's just such a slow map, and now it's slower. The overgrowth buff's not going to make it faster because it's still a slow.
Do you know if it's immune to Jaina's freezing ability? Like it says it's less.
Resistant
I think all that meant was you can get the damage amplification from crits and stuff. I don't think the slows hit any harder.
Oh, you're talking about how Jaina's trait applies to things like golems and structures now. I think it does apply to the Garden Terror, yes, but not the slow.
Well, I just meant like I wanted to see if it was immune to it now. Because it said it was more resistance.
Oh, I see.
I don't think so. I would have. My friend played a lot of Jaina yesterday.
I think I think you blow it up pretty quick, honestly.
Okay.
Apparently, I posted a GIF on Reddit about mawing great golems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently, you can maw the Garden Terror as well. I haven't seen that, but someone in the thread responded with, "You can maw the Garden."
That's pretty
Terror.
good that you can do that.
Maybe.
something else really weird got mod yesterday when I was playing. I can't
Barrel
remember what
barrel
it
can
was.
get mod, but I think that could get mod.
I don't know what happened to Maw, but it's super OP now.
Yeah. I think whenever they were just like, "We're going to take this gate of invincibility off of them," and then they just didn't. I'm just wondering if that was intended, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Garden, like, I've been wanting to ban it just from tournaments for a while, just as a, like, ignoring complete balance aside, because, from, competitive style, no team seems to, like, think, like, it's, like, swingy in one favor and it's, like, a generally balanced map, but from a spectator point of view,
It's boring.
Garden of the Terror's hands on the worst.
It's boring.
It's so boring.
It's boring to cast.
I almost fell asleep in the game once, Jake. No, wait, that was with Shane Gucher. Never mind. That was with Shane Gucher. Shane Gucher and I almost fell asleep casting Garden of Terror once. It was so slow and boring.
I was gonna say I've never fallen asleep casting a game before. What are you talking about?
Shane and I, and it's just such a slow map, and then they slowed it down.
I'll play devil's advocate here. I think it's a pure map. I think it's a slow map, but it's a very team fight skilled map. It's maybe one of the maps where the better team will win more often. And I like that at least aspect of it.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's a balanced map, from competitive standpoint.
Right.
Very
It's not a bad map. It's
It's
just
just so boring, and they're slowing it down even more.
guns blazing. Zoloft going in.
I'm just, from, because we're commentators, Chef's a player, and we all know that the reason this thing is possible is for the viewers. It gets eyes on the game, and if it's spectator, it doesn't matter how good a game is, if it's boring to watch, it will not succeed. And Garden is definitely by far the worst map when it comes to watching, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's something that you always need to have going back and forth, right? Like StarCraft, you didn't always have smaller maps in all of your map pools. You had some big maps, some smaller maps, and some medium-sized maps, so you can get like the different advantages. I feel like you need a map like Garden of Terror to just be like one of the bigger maps. So like, I don't know.
I just don't like the fact that there can be 2 terrors active at once. I think that's kind of my big beef with it, because when the advantages often nullify each other, and that's what makes the pacing of the game slow. If there was only one plant terror that could be picked up at a time, I think the map would be great. But when we have Terror v Terror, it's just like this standoff of like, okay, nothing's gonna happen, and they're just gonna kind of feel each other out for a long time and see whose terror dies first, and then there's gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
And it's just not exciting to watch.
Yeah. Ignoring balance completely. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just talking strictly spectator value.
I have no beef with the map because it's, I think, vegetarian only.
Okay, well, Jared's gone, and that's going to do it for episode 56. Peace. Man, last week was probably the best show we ever had.
Yeah, no puns.
Yeah, it was good. It's
been a while since I've rage quit a call like that. Way to go, Kevin.
You do it every day.
Probably.
I think there's a lot of things that they could be doing with Garden of Terror, but yeah, I think one of the biggest problems is that you can have 2 terrors out on the map. I completely agree. Rock'em Sock'em Robots just wallops and just...
Yeah. All right, let's just run through the patches really quick. Some of the basic things. So a lot of the people on the show, they haven't seen this stuff, or potentially haven't seen this stuff yet. Let's just take a quick look at the UI, just starting with super easy peasy stuff. If you guys haven't seen the game, they have massively overhauled the UI. Everything is at the top. We have a splash page for Sylvanas, so we're going to do this really quick. The headers, we got the play shop watch. We hope this watch will evolve to being more functional than just watching replays by yourself. Hopefully you can watch replays as a group. Hopefully eventually you can watch games live that are happening, but that's... Who knows? As it stands, there's now lots of sorting. The sorting up here, you can search for whatever you want, release date, or like however you want to do it, and it's just so much easier to navigate. Profile is the same. You can now have ranked teams. Apparently, I'm on Clown Shoe Gaming. I accepted a team, apparently. I don't know what that means, but hype. And you now have these indicators for like bonus experience and whatnot. Hero select, that is by far the sexiest part of all of this. Just watch this transition. And watch the 2 planets in the background. Watch them fold. Watch them fold open.
It reminds me so much of like the StarCraft background for like,
it's so much cooler than that.
No, I mean the actual background where there's like the 2 planets and the moon and everything. It just reminds me so much of the StarCraft 2 background.
This is Azeroth. That's Char. And here's Sanctuary.
It's totally not Char. You can see electricity. Char does not have
There's like clearly electricity and things going on there.
Yeah.
And Char is like all lava-y.
I think the biggest change is Sonya got a new portrait. It's much less constipated looking. It looks very good. Shane Kucher says, "It's my team, Jacob." Very good. I'm glad. I'm proud of you. Clown Shoe Gaming, So Esports, and yeah, all this selection of stuff. So UI, great, good, dandy.
Yeah, they did an absolute stellar job, and they also did a whole bunch of adjustments. Wrong scene. That in the game too, they made a couple of the ability borders and everything like a little bit stand out a little bit more especially for like quick cast items on 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.
Oh, Lily's
those like a little
cups,
bit more.
The metamorphosis. There's a lot of things. The indicators.
Yeah,
are
they
much
added
more.
so many like new graphics, but I think we should jump on to heroes because I think that's what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
Us rant on about.
Well, there's a few balance changes before that. I wanna talk about the forts and keeps losing 10% HP.
And town halls.
Does it matter
Town
what
They took away our health, Zoya.
Town Hall lost 10% of its HP.
Being
it's a-
Kubi. Kubi's only 10% of our health, apparently.
10% of HP, QB's gone, rip. It's actually noticeable. Like you could feel that they were dying faster when pushing.
Yeah.
When you have that large of a life pool, 10% doesn't seem like a large number when your health is that big. 10% is a decent chunk. Do you think that was a needed change? Do you think the forts and keeps were too tanky?
No.
It'll make Garden a little bit slower. Or a little bit
We
faster.
don't know what they have to have certain goals in mind, whether it be game length or what progression. We know they changed the scaling from levels 1 to 10, and we know I don't know if they documented this. I don't remember reading about it, but it seems like early game kills make much more of a difference now. They seem far more impactful. Am I the only one that feels that way?
Well, I played with my friends all yesterday, and we're the masters of winning early game and throwing late game. So,
So how was solo queues, Zoya?
pretty fun, man. I didn't solo queue at all yet.
You guys haven't noticed any?
No, that was my joke. You said I
Oh,
played with my friends. I said, so how was solo queue?
Basically, yeah.
Ah, I gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
no, but seriously, no one has noticed.
No, I haven't noticed anything with First Bloods or anything.
No.
Okay, it feels more impactful to get those early kills for me for whatever reason. Maybe I'm crazy.
Probably
Maybe
'cause you're playing
just gotten,
Sylvanas.
maybe you just gotten better at capitalizing on your advantage, Jake, because you're improving.
Maybe,
as
but
a player.
regardless, the level 1 to 10 scaling is different now, and that could certainly be a factor in terms of the reduction in health there, because I want the actual progression of the game to scale that way.
Yeah, just pushes everything. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like it need to be changed, but they're just pushing things towards what they've always wanted, which is short games, and
But that's such a weird thing because they keep buffing the core's health and everything, but now my biggest thing is that you can get through forts and keeps pretty easily, but then you get to the core and it's like, okay, well we have to back up because we can't play, go against this just early enough. So I don't know. I that's always just been the scale is way too exponential for the amount of health that forts and keeps have, and then when you get to the core, it's just like it's unsurpassable until a certain point.
Here's my theory on that. Like, remember the meta forever ago when heroes would just drop from the sky, kill the keep, and then you kill the core?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, finally they're like, we have an idea. We're going to do this change. Like, that obviously fell out of the meta, but maybe that was, like, the idea to how to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I
Yeah.
don't know. That's the best idea I could come up with for it.
I don't know. It's an interesting change, and I definitely could feel the HP difference. You got these things take you gotta take more into account with them. Like think of Blackhearts, for instance. It's gotten to the point where teams were able to calculate, okay, if we turn in now, it will 100% take this keep. And now with things taking more and more, like having less HP, I don't think they scaled back the damage on the boss, did they? On the pirate ship. So those things just do more. They're more and more valuable. Each turn in is more valuable because. It's not just the fort that's
They
the
did
towers, the gates, everything is 10% weaker.
They weakened the towers on the temples on Sky Temple.
Yeah.
They did get weakened.
Well, that was just that temple. I'm not talking about Blackhearts.
Yeah, I mean, you're right though. You are absolutely correct there.
So it's just.
But that's all things I'm sure they've taken into consideration.
Yeah. Truth.
All right, so let's talk about generic talents. Just arcane power, new spellcaster level 20 talent, really cool. I don't know if you guys have played with it. It makes Jaina terrifying. You pop Icy Veins and arcane power, things just die. It's 15% ability power for 5 seconds and 400 mana that you instantly get. She is the only hero in the game that has it, but of course, as Kael'thas and other heroes that will inevitably be put in the game, we'll see that. Blood for Blood, just visual update. Healing Ward. Thoughts on
Yes. So good. Healing Ward.
Oh. I'm just losing today. Just losing.
Healing Ward's ridiculous. It's so strong.
Much better now?
Especially on Rhaegar. You do 30% heal over 10 seconds at level 1. That is insane. This is a step in the right direction. I don't know. It's too early to say if it's balanced, perfect, whatever, but they definitely are taking it. This could be perfect. It's lasts longer.
Still vulnerable.
Still vulnerable.
And
it's not as ridiculous because
less healing.
I would like. Well, I don't know. I kind of like how you can stand on it and the other guy can't kill it. I was gonna say I don't like it, but I kind of like that too. Makes it more skill based.
Yeah, it gives it adds a nice flavor to it, because it's like oh no, he's body blocking the healing ward to protect his ally. I like that. I like that idea. and that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ice block got buffed, cool. Scouting drone, viability. You now have 2 charges, lasts less time, smaller cooldown. Any point to grab it still, or just completely worthless? Worthless. Very good.
I think so.
How many heroes get it? I only know of
I
Mouth.
don't, ETC.
No.
ETC also gets it.
Okay, well, you're never gonna
But-
You're never gonna give up Conjurers and Mouth, and no. What? No.
Block on ETC is kind of pretty good.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen.
All right. We talked
Maybe
about
EU.
Yeah, probably EU meta. Probably that's exactly it.
Oh, all right. Well, looking at the hero list, we talked about Abathur a little bit. Have you guys played him?
No.
No.
Okay.
I have.
Jeff,
I love him.
you like?
He's awesome now. Oh yeah. Well, they made Evolve Monstrosity really strong. Like
It's
the fact
ridiculous.
that it lasts forever now. You can get it to max stacks around level 15 or something. It's like almost 5,000 HP on this guy. So you
Whoa.
can basically be a tank for your team. You can control it, and it's great. It's I think way better than doing the ultimate evolution, just because like you can just use it as an like you just walk it into the fight like it's a tank. It's probably stronger than like an Uther tank or something. So you can still make it so like the spikes do damage, the other exploding thing does damage, it has shields. Like it's just, and then it's not going to give XP if it dies, and then you can like put a hat on something. It's almost like a resurgence available thing. I don't think people will use it right off the bat, but I think as time goes by, people will realize it's really strong.
Gonna say right now, this is the kind of thing that is going to plague quick match and just end games. It's just going to beat. You're gonna be able to win games with your monstrosity, straight up. Competitive, I don't know. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
That was actually my initial comment on the Reddit thread. I think when they started talking about making monstrosity exist for forever, just quick matches. It's the only time I ever see like evolved monstrosity abathurs actually doing a lot of damage, especially when you're not running like a pre-made or anything like that. Even if you're running like a duo or a triple Q, you can be okay against an abathur. But I've noticed so many times where I'm just playing solo queue, and nobody wants to go deal with the evolved monstrosity because it's like, somebody else to deal with it.
All right.
And then all of a sudden it's at your keep.
Yeah.
It can't be body blocked too, so it's going to be an okay engager too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's.
I
I
didn't
just
think
can't
about
wait to see that like pop up in the middle of like a team fight for a tribute.
that. Could
That'd
happen.
be great.
Ultimate Evolution, though, you're not sold on it. You think it's still unimpactful. I mean, that's 20% attack, damage, ability power, and 10% movement speed.
I don't think it's as good as Evolve Monstrosity, because I think Evolve Monstrosity has quite a lot of potential at the moment. The way they made it so it only lasts for 20 seconds might not
Yeah.
seem like a big deal,
Yeah.
but it was already hard to like know exactly when you get an engage. I mean, another team can just say disengage,
Yep.
and you've blown an entire ult for 70 seconds. Like, I don't know.
True.
It's,
Yeah.
it's iffy.
It needs to be like I don't know. I don't want you can. As soon as you see a clone morphing in, it's like run away. You just but disengage for 10, 15 seconds, and then it's like, well, what's it
Yeah.
gonna do now? And there's like no one hero, no matter how much you buff that stats, the ability, power, damage, basic attack, damage, movement speed. There's very few heroes where their kit alone, just their 3 core spells, is enough to make them that like ETC, I guess, because he's got all the stuns and displacement. But even then, like.
How do you get in the fight then, right? You just
Yeah.
be able to kind of ride in from the side with an Arthas and another Arthas, and you
Yeah.
just be able to slow him with it, right? But our Arthas isn't really in play. What other hero is going to be able to do it? Uther just put out the walk-in. I don't know who else wants to start a fight with that Abathur.
Yeah,
I've actually seen a really nice combo, which was a graduating range siege tank, and then Abathur cloned another siege tank, and that was the funniest thing because the enemy had no idea how to deal with it. As soon as they walked into it, it was like a Venn diagram of death. It was hilarious.
It just sounds pretty amusing, actually. All right.
But other than that, yeah, I haven't seen like any good clones that you can go with just basic abilities alone.
I'm dreaming of the day that we see 2 Illidan's and then a Bloodlust Rhaegar just running in and cleaning up everything in those 20 seconds. But I guess I'm just gonna have to
You're a dreamer.
keep waiting. Gonna have to
Yeah.
keep waiting. Well, all right, moving down the list, a simple change, and I personally just want to applaud Blizzard for the not just completely destroying it, the Taste for Blood change on Azmodan.
This is both good and bad. It's good in the sense that how fast they reacted to it. This talent did get ridiculous, but there was also something about. It's mainly good. The only problem I have with it is I love things like this that if like a team could strive to be the best Azmodan ever and figure out the best way to farm stacks and use that to their advantage because they've invested so much extra time on this very difficult mechanic where you make it work with your team. And it's still there in a sense, but there's no pushing yourself to the next limit anymore. If a team was to really spend the time to figure out how to do Azmodan, which no team was even close to doing it, there's no one that farms perfectly for it. But if a team like we're talking about perfect mechanics and a perfect strategy for a certain composition, if you were to spend the time to look at Azmodan, like just the thought of that is cool.
Yeah.
Having that option in the game. Now it was ridiculous, so it's a good nerf. Like putting in a cap at 500 is probably good for the game, but I like the idea of being able to master something and a team working towards that. It gives like I don't know. It's not something every team will be able to do, and then when one team does do it, that is awesome. And they kind of took that away, but overall, it's a good change.
I just think the idea of being able to be one shot on Nova by something from across the map is kind of unfun.
It was a 12-second orbital strike. That's why I guess they were just like, yeah, we should probably kind of fix this a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I guess I didn't. The terminology is a little bit weird. You can only get 500 extra damage.
Yes.
Okay.
It caps.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if
250
it was
minion kills.
500 damage total or
No.
500 damage extra
From the
okay.
trait, 500 bonus. From the trait.
So Black Pool will still affect that up to what,
Yeah.
750 or 1,000.
It's still going to hit really hard.
Okay. Cool. Just making
that's
sure.
a pretty high cap.
Yeah, that's a massive cap then. That's fine. And I'm perfectly okay with that because that's just gonna break it. That's just make sure it doesn't break games with like.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and that's a smart fix.
All right, Kev. Dibbles.
Holy crap! The apocalypse down 20 seconds is massive. It's a really big change. I still play Battle Momentum Diablo. So I have Apocalypse up all the time now. So it's I think it's a really good change. I think Apocalypse was still like I think a lot of people just haven't played Diablo enough to be able to like practice and time out the Apocalypse well enough. I see a couple of people who've been trying to do it. Lightning Breath is really good, and Lightning Breath is really great in a lot of situations, but I still think Apocalypse is just a better pick for like 75% of the time. So I'm glad to see that they buffed it a little bit, because I want to see more Apocalypse play.
Might be able to combo it with Sylvanas' Zero Silence. It's like the whole reason you don't Apocalypse a lot of the times is you have like a roll or a getaway.
Yeah.
But if they can't roll or get away for that period of time, you can Apoc.
Yeah.
True.
I just love Apocalypse already, so any buff to it, especially that big of a buff, gonna be huge for me.
And of course, the change on the Lightning Breath it's a little
Quality
bit
of
more
life.
intuitive. Yeah, a little just like this is where your mouse is. That's where you want your mouse to be because it's probably your target. That's where your lightning's going. Just a little bit more fluid, I suppose. Small changes, but like you said, quality of life. ETC, very plain and simple. Fear of the Storm has been replaced with Hardened Shield. Don't know why he had Fear of the Storm to begin with. I feel like that was probably an error. Makes sense for him to have Hardened Shield, but that is, in theory, a buff to ETC, because now he has Hardened Shield at 20. That could be really good. Still pretty likely that we'll see Bolt on him a lot, though, because that just makes him hyper-aggressive.
I was saying much the same, that the Bolt was going to be great, but a lot of the competitive chat was saying that Hardened Shield is going to be the new go-to talent.
That's the
I don't know
idea.
how much I really agree with them, but apparently they said that Hardened Shield is going to be really good because you can just like slide in and not have to worry about getting blown up. But I was like, when has ETC ever been blown up? But that's what they were saying. I still like Bolt.
They didn't remove Rock God, did they?
No, I don't think so.
I think that's still maybe taking a lot too. Just with Uther engage out, ETC engage in, maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it's going to go. ETC already strong. Fury of the Storm never picked up on him. Hardened Shield gives him a little bit more versatility.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Moving down the list, Falstad just got a little bit of buff on the basic damage, and for his auto attacks, they're just a little bit stronger. Doesn't scale any differently. Starts out a bit stronger. Nice, but barrel roll is way quicker now. Now the cooldown is been reduced by 2 seconds, but the speed, it's just so much faster than it was before. And between that, reducing the cooldown on it, making it a little bit more quick to cast, and then Mighty Gust. I always say Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
I always call it Mighty Ducks. Mighty Gust, having its cooldown reduced to 50 seconds. I mean, I don't know how often we're going to see that. It's still easily
Every
one of the
50
best.
seconds. That's how often you're going to see it.
It's easily one of the best disengages in the game. Where do you guys think Falstad sits right now?
He sits on his mount, Laserbeak.
It is not his name. Swiftwing.
It is. No, Laserbeak.
Laserbeak.
He does shock and awe. You know.
Yeah.
Real discussion, please.
I think he sits. I mean, we were seeing him used quite a bit in Titan Arena, so I think these are some pretty good changes for him. You know, a couple of quality lives. Barrel roll was obviously, I think, one of the bigger things that just allowed him to get away. His damage, I guess, was the biggest problem. So I guess the small stim on that auto attack will just make him a little bit more of a threat in the earlier stages. It's not really that much. It's not going to affect his scaling later on. It's going to be like negligible in a couple of levels, but
Yeah.
Mighty Gust still probably not going to see it that much.
So
See
Falstad
in
pretty
the
much the
upcoming-
same.
Yeah, we'll see in the upcoming people too. Like they buffed some damage where like unless you ban damage out, like there's so much better options in this patch with Solanas too.
Let's speak about some of those other options. Jaina.
Jaina!
Arcane Power, level 20 talent. That's the 15% ability power for 5 seconds with 400 mana that you receive. She lost Nexus Fury, which is auto attack based, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense on her. So this is of course that caster level 20 generic talent. She's got the improved ice block. All ice blocks cooldowns were reduced, so just improved ice block. Same deal. And well, Frostbite. That now works on structures and grave golems. That alone, that's her trait. She now hits a full combo at like level 8 or something kills a tower. Like if you EWQ, it like kills a tower or something. It's something ridiculous. Maybe level 10, but it hits hard.
What?
Am I wrong? I remember doing it, and it just seemed to just blow up a tower.
Like 100 to 0.
I don't know. It seemed like a
Yeah,
lot
Jake,
to me.
you're getting Jake.
All right,
Bro,
maybe I'm stretching it out. I remember doing it. I do the 20.
100 to 0.
Hey, listen, 20-hour streams are long. I get tired, and
You start seeing things.
yeah, I was just like, wow, that tower died. Good. Okay, moving on.
Well, she's
They
just
buffed
gonna
her.
be OP.
Across the board, they buffed her.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be broken too, in my opinion.
You think so?
Oh yeah, yeah.
She was
She's
already getting
really
picked quite a
good,
bit. Yeah.
and like
The one complaint mainly about her was she has no pushing power. She's got a great team fight burst, but when clearing a grave golem, she's not the best. When taking a grave golem, she's not the best. So this is a great change, and yeah, I agree 100%. She is going to be high priority now. She's not just going to be a blow up comp. She's not going to be a last pick anymore. She's going to be a damage that you seek.
Another top priority or another top option for damage dealers.
Good.
That is good. That is good. I'm glad to hear that. Kerrigan. Ultralisk, straight up, full micro, like a water elemental, nothing fancy. You can. But the big deal about this is you can body block with that Ultralisk. You can chase with it. You can do whatever the heck you want with it. And do you think this is gonna? I mean, we saw Kerrigan in Titan Arena. Only Maelstrom was playing her, but we did see Kerrigan in multiple games.
Well, one of those, I think that Kerrigan pick went with Ultralisk just to like kind of mess with the opponents, but
I mean, it's
the Maelstrom
possible.
picks were I think they're actual legit trying. I don't know if Ultralisk is going to get used too much, but maybe it will because it can body block. I don't know. We'll have to see like if anybody can really finesse it. It's still gonna be unwieldy to control that, and instead of having Maelstrom.
Here's the plan: you go Kerrigan, you go Abathur, and you go Nazeebo, and you make it entirely like minion based. It's not like
Actually,
a Flake with
that was
evolution. With a
that
Nazeebo.
was my idea. It was team so much stuff you don't know what to deal with it, and it was Lost Vikings, clone based Nova, Abathur, Kerrigan with Ultralisk, and
Zagara.
Zagara. Yeah,
But what about Nazeebo with Garg and
yeah, no.
uprooting
Well,
zombies?
so Garg wasn't a thing back then.
And frogs. And zombies and spiders.
Zombies, yeah, Kev.
Well, frogs and spiders you can't shoot.
For someone
But-
when you do a comp with a bunch of stuff, you're lacking a lot of stuff.
No, I still have a lot of stuff. Which is
No.
not all the stuff.
No.
Okay, just continuing to power through because there is a lot to talk about. Lily, just
Lulu.
small changes to her. You just can't heal clones. You can't heal Ultimate Evolution.
Skip Murky.
Yeah, we won't talk about him. Zebo. Okay, Jared, talk about Murky. You've played him, right? I haven't tried him yet.
He feels really good. Now people were like, "Oh, Abathur Murky's gonna be so OP." No, don't waste your time with that. Murky standalone. I don't know if he's gonna see competitive play. I don't think so personally, but in solo queue and then just rock busting him out in the Hero League, I have won with Murky multiple times and I have lost to Murky, and it's not a huge difference. Like,
How
but-
aggressive are you with your egg now?
Well, I've always been pretty aggressive with it. You should always be putting proxy decks down and stuff. The main difference is, like I said, I play with my IRL friends, and one of them plays Tassadar, and he was like, at one point I just busted up laughing. He's like, dude, this Murky is destroying me. I can't kill him because the health regen, it literally doubled his health regen. And if he just plays, like, you don't have to play Suicide Murky anymore. You can play a conservative, I'm going to poke you down Murky, and I mean, my friend's bad as well, too.
Well, let's talk about Living the Dream. Have you played with that? Is it strong?
The new level 4 talent, yeah. It's really good. It's a completely different Murky style you have to play now. You just gotta stay alive, and when you're alive long enough, the damage adds up. It's really cool.
So harass Zoya on Twitter for Murky builds, if that's what you.
Octograb, don't go march like Trixler. Octograb all the way.
Yeah, Octograb is still like really great. I see so many people having so much problems with Octograb.
It's always been good.
I mean, when Murky Free Week happened, I was just Octograbbing pufferfish.
Murky Nova is so fun. You Octograb people and she just blows them up. Oh my goodness, it's not fun to be on the receiving end, but okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about Zebo a bit with John,
Mhm.
and just anyone that hasn't seen the patch notes. Some pretty big changes. The specialized toxin got halved from 200 to 100%. Plague Toads has been buffed pretty significantly. Each hop 20% bonus damage. But Gargantuan, they really reduced.
That's a talent, by the way, not just Toads in general.
Oh yeah, you're right. Plague of Toads talent. But Gargantuan, they really reduced its health pool, but they made it hit so much harder. And I have not tried it. I have not seen it.
So
They
KO,
actually made it bigger, right? Like even at level 10, because it's 150 per level, right? So it'd be at level 10, it would still be 2800 versus 2800. So then it only just scales better from there, right?
I think you're right. Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea. I can't do math. But
Sorry.
yeah, it looks more interesting. I haven't played it yet, but I'm definitely interested. I've been playing around with like Nazeebo and Uther, with Sylvanas and Uther, so I haven't gone around to Nazeebo yet. I'll try it out. It sounds like you have to go spider build now instead of specialized toxins.
Really? Jumping spiders?
Yeah, jumping spiders. So it was a really cool idea. I saw the other day on Reddit, and I was just like, at that time, I was just like, why would you ever not go specialized toxins? Like, that's just such a not smart thing to do. But I think jumping spiders, like, get the more spiders, and then level 16 get the jumping spiders.
Interesting. I guess we will find out, and as time goes on. What do you guys think about the new Ravenous? What are they? They did nerf it
Yeah,
I
they
think-
nerfed,
in
they nerfed
damage. They did
and-
nerf the damage.
yeah.
You're right.
I think it's gonna. I don't know. Nazeebo was Nazeebo's starting to fall out of play. He wasn't high priority anymore. There were a lot
Yeah,
of drafts.
true.
A lot of drafts where he wasn't picked. KO was starting to like Gargantuan before the patch.
We did see it.
Um,
We did see it once.
Yeah.
But KO's always liked weird things. He says that it could be really good now, but I don't know. I don't. I think Nazeeb, like with the buffs of Jaina, with all these, like with Sylvanas being such a good damage, with Valla still being very good despite the nerfs, I don't know how. I'd have to see something very convincing with Gargantuan play for me to think Nazeebo is going to be relevant to competitive meta.
Interesting.
Well, there's less stuns now. I mean, if you're going against the Stitches, you don't have to worry about pulverize anymore. So I think they do need to like kind of nerf that kind of a channel if they're going to start getting rid of some of these crowd controls. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
Because you can't have something that's going to be that strong and you get rid of like all the forms of crowd control for it.
There's still plenty of options. I mean,
Yeah, there's plenty of options. Well,
Sylvanas, she just got entered in the game. She's got a silence that stops it.
There's so many damages. Tychus, Zagara, Valla,
Grenade, yeah, you name it.
so
Maybe-
many damage.
She moved Tyrande stun to level 7 instead of 13 even, so it's better.
We'll get there. We'll get to that. But yeah,
Well, I
that's
just
true.
mean against.
He's just throwing out, no.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the increased range on that. That's true.
It's
So
not
there-
just randomly being like, oh, and Thrall.
you're right. You're right. But that is true. There are plenty of options. Raynor, damage scales better. Woo! Yay! Don't know if it's gonna mean anything, but that's what's up with him. Hammer, she is way squishier now.
I haven't played it. I honestly cannot recall a single game. Like I played like 25 to 30 at least. I don't remember playing against Hammer once. Is it really that significant? Like noticing when trying to kill her?
I think it is. Yeah, she dies a lot easier.
300 health at level 10. Well, 350 health at level 10.
It's a good amount of health.
That was a lot. Yeah. Dang.
So
good. She needed it.
yeah, she's supposed to be all about positioning. We
I
were
don't
seeing.
think- I don't know about that one.
She's a siege tank. Her job is to be positionally sieged in a strategic manner. Do you even play Terran, bro?
No, I played Zerg and Protoss.
See? This is why you don't know.
Third.
Zerg and StarCraft 2 Protoss and Brood War.
Kev, we're
Yo, can
50-50 split.
Can they have her new heroic with the release of Legacy of the Void be a
Medevac?
darn Medevac comes down and then you micro both of those? That would be
Please?
so awesome.
Please?
For like 30 seconds you can like move around with a Medevac and shoot or like drop and
Abathur's
shoot.
ult, instead of cloning her, just brings the medevac.
Oh, that was so cool.
I'd be so happy if I could micro medevac. Speaking of which, man, Legacy of the Void in 6 days. Gonna play that.
Yeah, I want to talk about something.
Okay.
Why is Bama the Hammer, whatever her name is, if you were to take her model in game and like take her out of the siege tank and put her like next to Arthas, she's like this big,
Okay.
dude.
She's the size of
No, okay.
Malfurion's hand. We
Alright.
all know this.
We
But
don't have enough time to talk about this, but Zoya, basically game design. Next one, Sonya,
No.
Whirlwind,
there's no
nice
other.
quality of life buffs.
Yeah.
I'm completely derailing Zoya's.
That's
Sonya,
because
nice
I bring
quality
up
of
good
life buffs,
points.
That's
and
about
you
it.
don't.
Stitches.
It's irrelevant in the end of the day. But yeah, Whirlwind, you can now there's activatables while casting Whirlwind, so it's kind of like I guess the Odin, where you can use the secondary abilities while using it, and they've renamed a lot of them. So Nerves of Steel, formerly Stone Skin, Ignore Pain is just Hardened Shield. Kind of cool. I don't know if it's gonna help her because none of those actually solve the core problem of Whirlwind, where she's required to be stun resistant. So if there was something that she could activate that made it so she cannot be stunned out while using Whirlwind, so that she can make sure she gets all that health regen from all the minions or whatever she's attacking, I think that would be a nice big buff for her, and we'd start to see a lot of Sonya play. But there is no ability like that.
Yeah.
She is probably the best engaged in the game now, though.
True, but she still suffers from
For
her heel being stunned out, kind of like
Sure.
Chen, who also has that that problem of you stun him from drinking his brew, and he has no energy, he has no shields, he has nothing. So definitely think she has a place in the game for sure. But
Well, yeah, we already see her played.
yeah. Stooches, we talked about him. He got bodied.
Good.
Yeah,
honestly.
man, he got. I don't know.
He needed it. He was like CC damage warrior still. They needed to get rid of him, and I'm glad they didn't get rid of his damage because I think
They
we
nerfed
still
it.
need. Yeah, but they didn't completely get rid of it. And I think we definitely needed to have like a damagey warrior because I think we haven't had one of those in a while. Like
I think they did too
Arthur's
much.
got
I think they did too much at once.
Think so?
I think this is a really big hit to him.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's the end of the world.
Oh, somebody's.
That's Kubi. Open the garage. Ignore it.
Oh. Okay.
Like the hook, the long range hook is still gonna happen. Now maybe Gorge will happen more. It kind of buffed it. Well, with Hungry, so that wouldn't even happen. Never mind. But
Yeah.
I think she's still not terrible, but they did kind of buff other tanks. So buffing other tanks, not really helping Stitches. You can see him fall out.
Yeah, like I don't know. We talked about like a few episodes ago where how boring would he be if he was just a hook, and that's the. Like, of course, he brings other stuff to the table, but that is the direction we're heading to. That he is a hook,
Yeah.
and he loses. Like he still has other things, yes, but when they keep toning him back and back and back, eventually he's only going to be played because of the hook. And I mean, if it's that, I mean, I guess with that powerful ability,
You think he's on
that's-
course for that?
I don't know. Like those, maybe. I hope not. I think that. No, I don't know.
If these nerfs are enough to take
I
him
can't
out
think
of the
of this.
meta, I'll put it this way. It'll be the first time he's out of the meta, so I wouldn't be missing him too much. I would like to see what the meta evolves with without having hook.
That's a silly way to.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if it happens, and I still don't think it will. I think he'll still be in the meta. I
He
think he'll
won't
still
be
be a top tier
completely
pick.
out of the meta, but
Right.
you're gonna have better warrior. Like we might even see Murden more than him at this point.
I think that's possible. I still think he'll be very popular for pick comps though. Certain
Yeah,
teams will
pick
just
comps,
yeah.
yes.
But just for like, I think that's good to have that specific like flair to him. It's like, well, he's really good on this map because picking is so useful in XYZ scenario, and that gives him a strength. Whereas Murden has a strength of just being more in your face and having the Stormbolt. I think there's good to have those differentiations. If Stitches is just better in like 5 different scenarios than Murden, and Murden only is better in like 2 scenarios, like that's not good, you know.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I'm fine with it myself. I'm excited to see how I think he'll still be played like you said. I'm just excited to see how different he is when it comes to competitive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he'll always be good because of the hook, but
Yep.
how good?
Tassadar, Force Wall.
Force Wall!
Force
Yo,
Wall.
he pitches tents now.
Whoa. He pitches tents now?
Yeah, have you seen Force Wall?
It looks
They changed
different?
The graphic.
Oh, I
Oh,
haven't.
cool.
Yeah, it's like 3 little giant triangle tent looking things.
What?
Speaking of graphic, Mecha Tassadar, have you seen a storm? It
Oh.
looks so cool.
Have you heard his storm?
I don't play
Yeah.
it sound.
It's like pew 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 pew.
Really?
It sounds like a Gundam battle
It's
happening.
basically supposed to be like Gundam, like mini missiles hitting the ground. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Oh, cool.
I haven't picked up Force Wall, but
Well, you know what? Maybe that's the Mecha Tassadar Force Wall. I'm thinking about that right now.
it probably is, honestly.
Yeah, someone in chat saying tense if you have mech skin.
Oh, okay. Never mind
Big
then.
pizza.
Yeah, I've been seeing nothing but mech skin, so I just saw nothing but that. So I was like, oh, okay.
All right,
I
we're
get to watch it on Jake's skin.
yeah,
Jake's skin.
we're doing it. We're going in, and then Force Wall. So yeah, here's if for whatever reason you don't get the jet in try mode, I could
Yeah,
turn
which
I could
is-
turn sound on so everyone can hear it. I'll do that.
You could hit Control S next time.
Well, I muted it.
They're so cool looking. Right? Little tents. Awesome. Anyway. Lost Vikings, nerfed. Good.
Not really, though.
Not really though.
No.
I mean, it's actually you know, somewhat decent.
Oh. That's cool.
Told you.
I don't know what kind of camping you do, but that is not a tent.
The little pyramid.
Even his shield looks different.
Yeah, everything looks different. Did you ever realize his shield from before was like banshees floating around him?
Nope.
Or not banshees. Yeah, banshees. No. What are the phoenixes? They're like little phoenixes that fly around his shield.
Man.
Anyway, um, the scaling is actually like it seems really small, but it's actually pretty decent.
On Vikings,
Yeah,
I think they'll still be played plenty.
definitely. I hope so. I mean, they're interesting. They bring diversity, and everybody plays them a little bit differently too. Like Fan spreads them out into 3 different lanes,
True.
whereas Arthlon keeps them together and uses them all in one lane. And I think they're like an awesome hero so far.
I think
I don't
Sheth said it earlier and pointed out just well that we've only seen the tip of the iceberg with Vikings.
Yep.
We haven't seen anything yet, and that's exciting. That's good. That's good. I can't wait for them to be broken, and I can't wait for them to just flat out win games, and it'll be wonderful. Just moving over to Thrall, he's pretty good now. I think he's actually in a pretty okay spot. I had liked him a lot in his initial iteration, and of course he was kind of a pub stomper, so he fell off pretty quick. But have you guys played with him at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't sound excited, Jared.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, he's like more of a caster now, and that's not Thrall. Thrall's supposed to be in your face, like wailing on you and stuff, and now people
What?
are just going these chain lightning builds. That's not Thrall.
What?
That's why he's got.
Oh, bro, he is.
No,
He's
he's
a
got.
champ.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's got
but
Doomhammer, but
he goes in your face.
Doomhammer is all like chain lightning stuff.
No, man, he's supposed to be like punching fools.
you want him to be a full enhanced shaman.
Yeah,
But
I don't
he's
want him
definitely kind of an elemental shaman.
I don't
He's an
want him to be
elemental
able-
shaman. That's
You're wrong.
Well, no, Kev-
Go play Warcraft 3.
Kev, he's an everything shaman. He's like
He's
a
an
god
everything
shaman, or whatever they would call that. But
When they originally released Thrall, how are people building him? They're building him
Wind Fury.
Wind Fury. And now that's completely dead. I don't think it's good still. I think it's a step in the right direction. It definitely felt stronger. You can do decent damage. You won't ever top damage.
the self heal is a lot better though. His sustain is a lot better.
It's definitely a night. It's one of those situations where they slowly buff someone until they're good, and this is definitely feeling like that. I don't think he's going to be top tier anymore, but this is like one of those situations where it's a step in the right direction. It felt really. It was an okay change. We're getting there.
All right,
Getting there.
Tychus, they literally just changed searing attacks to sizzling attacks, and the giant killer is now problem solver. I laughed more than I'd like to admit when I read this. I like read it in the Tychus voice, and it pleased me greatly. Tyrande, though, this is probably next to Uther, the biggest change in terms of a hero. Now, you guys can read it all here. We're not going to read it all. She lost a bunch of talents. She gained a few talents, and at the end of the day, the biggest changes for her, I would probably say, is the heal. The cooldown's increased, but the heal is bigger. So each time she heals, it's a little bit more impactful. And the healing style Tyrande feels like a little bit more of an actual healer than just kind of like this, I'm going to be part of this blow-up composition.
I don't know. She still can't solo support, in my opinion.
Mm.
It's not enough healing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out if it's a buff. Like, she's a much stronger early game, I think. Lunar Flare is to pick up its Evan.
Yeah.
Makes her just a great ganker. She's going to be kind of the new Kerrigan, in my opinion. Roaming around everywhere, killing people early, and then later on she's going to fall off because she doesn't have Bolt anymore at 20. And people may be able to abuse that. Like, she's the obvious target you kill instantly.
Yeah. I don't know if her position in the game has changed all too much. I think she's, like Sean said, definitely more powerful in the early game, but I don't think we'll see her outside of, those blow-up style compositions where you just want to nuke someone down really quick, which is how you should play anyway. You should be focus firing as well as you can, but...
She had the slight nerf on Healing Ward, too.
Oh, yeah, everyone. Yeah, true. I went out of my way to just mess around with weird builds, and I did an auto attack Tyrande build because if you look at all the different things they gave her, in the way they reorganized it, you can get auto attack talents at every single level. Whether it's the Hunter's Mark gives you attack speed, the way they move True Shot. True Shot is actually it's way later in the game, but it's not 15%, so it's kind of a buff, but you lose the attack speed, so it's not really different.
It
But
was 10 and 10, so
they
it basically was a 20% attack damage buff, and now it's only 15%.
Okay, that makes. I guess that's true. But she got Nexus Frenzy. She got Focus Attack. She got all these things. I was like, all right, let me try auto attack Tyrande with Hunter's Mark. It doesn't feel good. It's not good. It's not impactful. I don't know. It seemed like that might be one of the things they were trying to do, make her an actual have this damage version where it's actually an archer, but I don't know. Not sold on it.
Yeah.
How long did Tyrande's stealth? Why can't I think of it? Used to last.
Shroud?
Yeah. No.
Shadowstalk?
Level
Shadowstalk.
10 Shadowstalk. How long did that used to cloak you for?
2 seconds.
More
Was
than
it 10?
More. It wasn't 10 seconds.
I thought it was like 5 seconds. Something
It was
like
a
that.
decent amount of time.
Now it's 8 seconds with a
Yeah, they
3-second
changed it.
reveal.
Did it do that change? It's not here, but it's
Yeah.
elsewhere.
That's an undocumented change.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I'm not entirely sure on that.
Run out of time, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
quick.
powering through. Uther, just open up the gates. He's way different. Chef,
Didn't seem too bad.
You didn't seem too bad, Kev.
I mean, I only played a couple of Coco matches with him. Didn't seem too bad. Flash of light. Holy cow.
Comes out quick.
Nobody dies when you're
No,
dead.
that's true. Chef, you're a support
All right.
player.
Big deal. Stun is now 10 seconds instead of 8.
Yeah.
Spy and Storm is now 80 instead of 70, and it can get huge. Resurgence at level 20 is awesome. There's going to be some awesome things done with that, where you have to now watch where the ghost is positioned, and teams can turn once your Uther revives out of magical nowhere,
That's
which
so
is pretty awesome.
dumb.
Awesome.
That's so bad. God.
What do you think about the in one ability rewind?
It's okay. I don't think it's gonna completely break him. I think
Yeah.
still maybe imposing is better. Depends on how this meta works out.
But it's an option, and it's a good option.
Yeah, double stun. So it's pretty good.
Or double heal if needed. It's flexible.
Yeah.
They also added.
There's not a heal.
They increased the cooldown on Divine Storm, by the way, as well, by 10 seconds.
So 10 seconds, and Divine Hurricane has a smaller search radius.
Yeah. So a lot of stealth buff nerfs.
Yeah, I don't know. We will see, but Flash of Light, it changes his dynamic a lot, but if you die as Uther, the rest of your team just won't die. You can get so many gosh darn heals off, and they are, I think at level 20, it's like 510 damage healed every 1.5 seconds.
It's a lot.
It is
Yeah.
a lot.
It's not as good, I mean, obviously it's not as good as having a ghost run around that can do Divine Storm and a Divine Hurricane, Stun and a Divine Hurricane, but in terms of healing, it's like a completely different thing.
It reminds me of the priest from World of Warcraft. When you
Yeah,
die, you
spirit
turn into
healer.
an Angel. And
Yep. It's exactly what it is.
I think it's a good change. The old iteration of it was boring and kind of strong. Like Uther, you just run and die, and then you can sort your big heroic off. I like this change. Is it good though? I don't know yet. It's too early.
Okay.
Is it a nerf or a buff rather? I don't know yet.
I think it's
The
good.
other healers aren't going to be that much better. I mean, there's no huge buffs to healers, so I think Uther will still be used a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely. I'd be shocked if for some reason Uther wasn't played this weekend. I would actually be shocked.
His core kit's still the same. So.
Yep. he's
Would
still-
you be?
No sprint. No sprint. That
would
was
you
cool.
be?
You're trying too hard
shocked?
already? No. So let's talk. This is undocumented. Valla is not. She's no longer unstoppable when using Vault. That's also true for Illidan. Unstoppable
Okay.
invulnerability.
That's a pretty big.
Removed
Oh, I
from.
didn't know that happened to Illidan.
It's
Ooh.
it's
I didn't know either.
undocumented, but
You
it
used
is
to be able to vault when getting judgmented to avoid it.
not need,
Can't
or
do that
hunt
anymore.
or any of that.
Yeah.
The hunt making a comeback.
I don't know about
Holy
that.
trick nose.
But what do you guys think about that? That's a big change. This is something that only affected high level play, really.
She was god tier. She was by far the best damage in the game, and she needed a nerf. I think this is the right nerf.
What
Yeah.
battle momentum 2? You think that was needed also?
Yeah. It doesn't you can still go string attacks at that level.
That's
and
true.
It's like
It opens up a different type of set of builds. Like you can still go for multi-shot build if you really need to have like the peeling at level 13, or you can go for now the auto attack build. I think
Siphoning
both of
Arrow.
them for now.
Is
Yeah.
Siphoning Arrow gonna pick up steam? You think?
No. I think
it's a
multi-shot
multi-shot?
build was not good because of like battle mental and
yeah,
stuff. It was good because
right.
of the slow, and you
Yeah.
still had that option.
Okay. Zeratul, slight nerf, double spikes. Second one, 50% less damage. They're just nerfing the Spellatool.
Huge nerf. in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is a big one.
I think it's pretty big damage nerf. Well, I don't know. He was already kind of shaky on NA meta. He still gets picked quite frequently in EO. I don't know if this is enough to.
There could be some sort of combination with Diablo, with APOC being 100 and maybe way more used, but I don't see it being like anywhere near Jaina, Valla, or Sylvanas picking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
He was already just like starting to fall out of meta a lot. We saw him only come back in complexity in the like finals, right? So
True. But they paired it with Ma, and it was pretty cool.
yeah, that was awesome.
2ARC did that to us a while back. I think they're the ones that brought it to the meta.
Interesting. Let's talk about. I know time's up. We can extend a little bit later. It is a patch day. I kind of expected this. Unless anyone has to go. Do you guys have to dip?
I do hate talking to you guys, but no, I'm good.
Yeah,
You good?
for a bit longer.
Okay. Yeah, we're not going to go too much longer. Let's talk about the map. First impressions. Just looking at
Only played
it.
it 3 times.
Okay.
It's
I haven't played it yet.
It is fun. I enjoy playing the map. Balance and strategy-wise, I still have no idea what's the best way to play the map, or if it's balanced, if it's boring. But for now, it's fun. It's just so. I don't know. I wish I could only play that map right now.
It's definitely very different. Like it's
Yes,
completely new
that is-
map, completely new style. I like it. I like
It's
just
very small. Like the distance between top, mid, and bottom is like so small. I guess mid and top too. Like it is a very small map. And Sean said it best. It is different than anything we've seen. Yes, you still have the mechanic where you're collecting and turning stuff in, whatever. It is the most. It is. I don't care what maps you want to compare.
It's the
side
most
by
unique
side.
map we have. And
It is very
yeah.
different.
So
That's cool.
let me just open up the floor really quick. I've played on it a good number of times, and I've been theory crafting a lot about competitive for this map. And one thing that we're going to see be ridiculous is Zagara is going to be banned all the time on this map. The turn-in is so easily contested. There's 2 turn-ins. They're so easily contested on this map. And denying turn-ins is going to become a crucial thing. Creep spread across the map with a creep build is going to be so easy to do and provide your team just complete knowledge of everything that's happening, and you can just stop those turn-ins left and right. Maybe not banned, but she's going to be highly sought after. She's going to be incredibly powerful on this map, and I just feel like those kind of heroes that just controlling the turn-in is going to be huge. And if you can kill, they lose those gems. So the mechanic, it's going to be straight up just fighting over that, controlling that, and just heavy roaming and ganking over the turn-in areas. So I just cannot wait to actually see the meta unfold for that map, though.
I can see Abathur being good there too.
Really?
That's where it sounds. Yeah. Just
That
because.
does sound very weird. by
Yeah,
the
it
way.
does.
Like just the idea being like there are a lot of you need to push waves real quick, and you just need great wave clear. And if you want to make like plays later on, like Abathur can be in a lane, it can help it push instantly. I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be a map very heavily about lane push, and Abathur can just either
True.
hold a lane or push a lane very well.
That'd be fun. In terms of those pick comp styles, Diablo Tyrande, I think it's still going to be super huge on this map because
I don't know. The heroes that are good on every map.
it's true.
Like Zagara's gonna be good on every map, even this one. You know, Arbitron are good on every map, even this one.
Kerrigan might see play here though.
Actually, yeah, I think that there's a map where we'd see Kerrigan. This makes
The
sense.
objective doesn't seem that strong to where
It scales.
it just dominates. Well, like getting it early on multiple times, like.
Well, here's
as
the
long as
thing,
you
though.
react properly, it doesn't seem like
If you can
it's
escort
too
it,
snowball.
it's kind of like a mercenary. If you can keep it alive, she just keeps summoning spiders in each lane. So actually capitalizing and like escorting the mechanic is part of it because they blow up. You can blow them up really quickly. You can just deny that mechanic very quickly. But having good defense of it is going to be really interesting, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't. Obviously, we all haven't played it all that much yet, but
I haven't played it at all, so I
I'm
need
sorry.
to.
That's so sad. It's just hard. You can't like quick match. I only want to play on this map. Like it, unfortunately.
I was
They should
blocked
add
out for a
that.
couple hours last night, so
They should add
I
that
didn't
like
get
in
to play.
StarCraft where you can like click a
Veto?
few maps you don't want to play.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Veto maps and stuff. Well,
Down.
now that we have 7 maps in the pool, maybe that's something worth considering because the game was released with 4, and we're up to 7. So That's pretty good. That's actually definitely something worth starting to think about. And we know they're working on more maps. How many maps are going to put in the game? Eventually it's going to get crazy. Tournaments are going to have to start selecting and banning, but that's a whole another discussion. I don't know if we missed anything. Anything else you guys want to talk about from the patch?
Yo, Haunted Mines feels a little bit different.
I don't understand that change at all.
They made the first
The health pools and the damage.
first golem 20% weaker now, so
You can still win games with it, though.
we had a a 40 skull golem we had a 40 or a 30 skull golem, and they had like way more than us, so it must have been like it had to been 70-30. We did the same amount of damage to each other, basically. I mean, granted, we had a Gazla who had like set up like a billion turrets, but like there was hardly a difference between the two. Whereas like last game, that would have been like at our keep towers.
I don't get the change.
I think
any golem past 60 skulls, like you're just denying skulls at that point. Like, I don't know.
It's just the way you capitalize on your advantage is different now.
It's an interest. Like, maybe it is a good change, but like it's interesting that Blizzard thought that this would be, like, of all the answers for Haunted Mines, this is what they came to.
Yeah.
It might work out, but that's just like, if you're telling me that 100 skull golem being scaled back to 60 skulls, even though you're denying them skull, like, that's a good change. That doesn't, I don't know. That's really interesting way like to approach balancing the map. It could be good, but I just at first glance just like, all you're doing is denying skulls past 60, which is good, but it's also, that's very unintuitive, by the way.
True.
For new players. Like, there's no guideline from Haunted Minds that says past 60 skulls, by the way, you're just denying, you know. They're gonna be like, all right, guys, we got 100 skulls this game. This doesn't feel much more powerful than, you know, the one we had last game at 57 skulls. What's going on here? You know,
Sure.
it's definitely an interesting change.
I feel like they're like doubling over themselves to try and make this map work. Which
Yeah. How many times have they changed it? How many other maps have actually seen layout changes? I don't know if any have, and Mines has been changed.
Dragonshire got changed from Merc Camps.
Oh, that's right. But Mines has
it.
seen multiple changes up on the upper and lower level.
complete revisiting of
Right.
like how the map is even laid out. I
don't know.
Kind of like the original a little bit better than how it is now. But
Still
the original. Oh, okay. No, let me put it this way. I didn't like how the bruisers were made in the original, because that was a slaughter fest.
orange and stuff too.
But I liked
Right,
having the 4 sets of giants. I felt like that made it a little bit more interesting than going for the golem every time. And
Yeah.
the golem just.
I just think that it's all coming down to the fact that anytime anyone talks about the map, it's snowball. That word comes up, and Blizzard hates that word.
This takes it back. That, like, you know, when your golem is not pushing super duper hard, you know, it does not. It's such snowballing. It's just, is it gonna be? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Time will tell.
Interesting change.
I feel like if there's any map that a tournament would want to ban balance-wise, it would be that. Spectator-wise, it would be Garden. So if we had to nix 2 maps from the pool, if I had to nix 2 maps from the pool right now, it would be those 2.
But next one map would just be Garden though.
I would probably agree. Just for Spectator, like we talked about.
I'm just talking about in terms of quick match. Like, in terms of quick match, it's such a.
Well, yeah.
It's such a frustrating map because like people just do all these different strategies all the time, and then if the enemy team has a little bit of coordination and just sits at like the door, or if you're the team that has a little bit of coordination and sits at the door, it's like instant victory.
True.
Gotta keep in mind too, these maps are basically the steps of war. If you don't know what that is, it's like a really bad map that Blizzard made. In
Hey,
StarCraft.
no. It was a great map. You put down 5 bunkers.
Best map.
Terran players.
12 drone rushes. Best way to win. I wasn't even a Zerg, and I played Zerg just to get Steps of War and 12 drone rush.
Hey man, I just remember walking right outside my base, putting down a few bunkers and siege tanks, and killing the Zerg.
I hate you.
I had a 50-minute game on that map.
All right.
Let me tell you about the meaning of pain.
So, All right, I think that's gonna probably do it for our show today. Our patch episode. Big shout out
Murky
to
Esports recap.
Johnsy for coming out. Yeah, it's patch week. We'll talk about we'll wrap up tomorrow. Next week will be a big esports discussion, I think. I trust me, I wanted to do a preview for ESL. I wanted to recap Titan Arena. There's a lot to talk about, just not enough time.
You guys
And
want like a supplementary episode like later this week, like Thursday or Saturday?
I will be casting ESL Friday, Saturday, my friend.
Friday, Saturday? I thought it was Friday. I thought it was Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
On that note, let us go to our shoutouts, and we can plug all that stuff through that. So Kev, you're on the far right today. You can start off.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in to
Jared's face.
What just happened?
Kevin's gonna go drop his sick beats on us. His mixtape's coming out.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, for Titan Arena. We got some pretty good viewership. Kind of falled off a little bit Sunday finals, which was a little bit upsetting because I think those finals were hype as hell. But tempo versus complexity, I think, was probably some of our best viewership we had on it.
Sick set.
And it was great casting with you, Jake. It was awesome. And of course, Sheth, last time I got to cast with you, I actually haven't officially publicly thanked you, Sheth. So here's my thanks to you for casting. So I've got 2 people here and never casting with Zoya. So
Wrecked.
thank you everybody for tuning in. If you did miss any of the games, highly suggest you go to my YouTube, youtube.com/m2 SCHAMTOO, and check out the complexity versus tempo games. I made a separate playlist just for those. They were awesome.
So esports.
Much to Jared's ire, they were great games.
No, it was a great set, man.
Yeah, MLG even put it up on their Facebook page. That was pretty awesome.
Facebook.
So, yeah, that's it. That's all I had.
You're Facebook official now.
FB official.
Mr. Sean Simon.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun. This was great. You even let me talk to a Blizz employee. It was a wonderful time here. Thank you guys. Thanks to you guys who watched, made all this possible. We really appreciate it. I'm back with Liquid now, so I can say thanks a lot to HyperX. It's the main sponsor, as well as Razer, Red Bull. We're also sponsored even by Nissan, so thanks a lot to those sponsors. And again, thanks everyone for watching.
Do you get a free car?
Maybe if I say Nissan enough, here's hoping.
Awesome. That's pretty great. Mr. Zoloff.
Big shout out to Temple Store, my team. We are playing in ESL this weekend. Gonna try and win this one out. If you guys want to check out our website, templestorm.com. We also big shout out to our sponsors, Funk, Twitch, Namecheap, and G2A. They got us a house recently, where we're going to be putting out lots and lots of content. We just started a new YouTube channel for Tempo Storm, and we'll link a VOD to it right there. It is a comms match versus Vortex. You guys get to see what we sound like during the game, how we focus fire targets and stuff. Really cool learning experience for players.
Yeah, that's a really good resource.
Yeah. Make sure you guys check it out. Subscribe to that as well, because we're uploading videos weekly. We have Arthlon doing a patch breakdown very soon this week as well. And yeah, the Arthas suit's coming, guys. It's coming. We're going to get it eventually. Big shout out to Blizz Johnsy. That guy is so fun to talk to. Thanks again to Blizzard for letting him come back on our show. It's really just so awesome having Blizzard come to our shows and talk to us about the game. It feels so good. So big shout out to that as well.
I just want to shout out to Johnsy because I don't think I've ever had the first hour of a show disappear that quickly. Yeah. Like when you guys were like the plugs being pulled, I was just like, oh my god, it's been 45 minutes. I couldn't believe it. So
I wanted to ask him so much.
I could
more.
pick his brain for days, and well, yeah, shout outs to him. But for me, yeah. So shout out to ESL. They are in fact my sponsor. I am a caster over at ESL, and we have our playoffs happening this weekend. We have the playoffs starting Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's Complexity, which is formerly Barrel Boys. That's something we didn't mention today. Complexity picked up Barrel Boys, and Team Liquid picked up El Nexo. So those are the two big. That's your esports recap for the week. So we in North America, we have Complexity we have Tempo Storm, we have Cloud9, Maelstrom, and Tuark, and those are the 4 squads that we'll be playing for our $4,200 prize pool. A lot of money happening. It's best of 5s all the way through, and it's 2 days of games, double elimination bracket. These guys have been playing for 7 weeks to qualify for these positions. There's a lot on the line, and it's going to be a lot of fun because it's the first tournament on a new patch too. So it's going to be a lot of, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a learning experience for us too because we don't actually know what to expect. How much Uther will we see? Yada yada yada. So go follow that channel. That's twitch.tv/ESL_heroes. Guys, do me a favor, follow the channel here, follow the YouTube, and check us out on iTunes, and rate us on iTunes, because that actually helps us more than you'd think. I'm getting much more proactive about making sure the VOD is up in a timely manner, and thank you for being patient with that, all you guys that nag me and remind me to get the VOD, the iTunes VOD up, or whatever it's called. Thank you. You're actually helping.
Yo, I'm gonna put an additional shout out. Go to Jake's channel and watch his Learning the Mercenary Camps daily quest. I was listening to that at work today, and I was like, this is a really good breakdown. I was like thinking about a lot of ways of like how to do that myself, and I was like, Jake's got it. It's done. I can't do anything now. So definitely go check out Daily Quest Mercenary and how to do them. That's an awesome VOD. A+, Jake.
Thank you. Working on creating more meaningful content like that. Daily Quest was at what it got derailed. It's supposed to be an educational series. I just started casting games by myself. It became like a solo cast, and I pulled myself back. I was like, no, that's not what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be educational. And I think I hit the nail on the head with that one. So thank you for the compliments. And yeah, guys, check that out. I think that's going to do it here. Kubi just
Look
got...
at this cool shirt. Wouldn't it be cool if one day you guys could purchase it? Maybe that would happen in the foreseeable future. Cool shirt, huh? Yeah, foreseeable future.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
We are going to do shirts, and we have another project in the works. We'll have new info on that soon. It's going to be very exciting. Jared getting very excited. Kubi's questions. Kubi returns next week. Chef, I love you. Thank you for coming on. Guys, final shout out. Go to teamliquid.net and go to the Heroes of Storm forums. Partake there. There's lots of cool actions. They've been releasing articles and good stuff happening there. They're making a push to help Heroes grow. And I'm going to go ahead and host the Heroes Hype Amateur Series that's happening right now. So guys, till next time, we'll see you later.